Okay, YouTube, this is Acid Roots. I've got a Kid Rock review, which is his follow-up to Devil Without a Cause, Cocky. Now, between 1998 and 2001, Kid Rock basically went about 11 times platinum, which is probably one of the best certifications you're going to get as far as music, at least before the year like 1985 or so. I'd say that most records do not make it past 7-8 times platinum, and even today that's getting extremely uncommon. But in 1998, Devil Without a Cause became a quick multi-platinum album. It went diamond, and it launched Kid Rock into the stratosphere. Whole thing was the album was backed by songs like Bawitdaba, I Am the Bulldog. There's another one, Cowboy, and a couple other songs. It had five or six singles released from it, so many of which happened. But the thing was, the timing of it did a lot of things. But it was also the forefront of rap rock, which was kind of new at the time. And the fact that Kid Rock's character was pretty likable also, I think these contributed a lot to it. I mean, Korn, Limp Bizkit are some of the other folks that you probably have recognized from 1998 to 99 or so. But between the tours, the songs he chose, the idea of the timing and the right genre that he was getting into, the trendiness just went through the roof. So this was definitely something that I enjoyed, and I definitely, Devil Without a Cause is an album that you need to own. So you do need to own that. And obviously, when I look back on it now, the only real problem with Devil Without a Cause is that there's not more songs like Bawitdaba. I mean, I hear radio songs from that on the radio quite often, but I don't really, besides the rock-based ones, we needed that third song that could have done it. But it does have the songs, they just weren't released to radio, so that's something. But after that, he dropped The History of Rock, which was backed with the single American Badass. Now, this is a great song. I reviewed this back in February, and it's another item that you probably need by Kid Rock. Thing about it here is there's a couple weaknesses. Number one, it's not new material besides American Badass and maybe one or two others. And the other thing is that there were no other radio songs that supported it. So he came out with American Badass, and that was the promotion. That probably lasted until about the autumn of the year 2000, and then Kid Rock was gone. Uncle Kracker took over, and then he went and decided to release the record in the autumn of 2001. Now, the difference between this album and Devil Without a Cause is the fact that Kid Rock's focus is less concerned with rap rock this time. He can still do it, and when he does do it, it's great, but I think he started to realize that the trend, it was more a trend more so than a continuous pattern. And that's about the only problem is the first single off Cocky was Forever, which is just like I Am the Bull God and Bawitdaba, but the other three radio songs from that project go in a different direction. So this is something, especially the song Picture, that has Sheryl Crow on there, and that one, I mean, off Devil, he did the song, trying to think of it. It was like Oh, yeah, Only God Knows Why. And that one, he used the auto tune on there, but the thing was it was kind of a unique song that charted really high and was a surprise hit. So he tried doing that again, but he ditched the auto tune and just made a ballad or a power ballad. And that was the biggest song. It actually hit #4 on the Billboard Hot 100. I don't remember music, I don't remember country music that well from 2002, but that was a large song, I'm thinking. So that did it, and that made Cocky become 5 or 6 times platinum. So that's still, miles ahead of a lot of other releases. But the other songs that were supported from the project were there was one that I'm missing, but one of which was You Never Met a Motherfucker Like Me. Now this one is really lazy, and it doesn't have, it's not as ferocious as Forever, but it still kind of is a rock song. Like Kid Rock, it's good that you get different styles of rock songs. It just feels more like a kind of kickback song versus an up and moving song. So you're just kind of in your seat for that song versus being up and about. But the next thing is there was one other single, but I didn't enjoy that one either. So it's 2 out of 4 that I liked. I really wish he would have picked like I'm a Dog and Cocky, the title track, but we don't happen to get those. So really, if you're wondering why it's so scattershot hearing this release on the radio and other places, it's just because it's just a manifest of different. It's just scattershot. That's really the whole thing about it, is it's just all over the place. But Forever is just like old Kid Rock, but then the new directions he went in on a couple of songs, probably 3 out of the other 4 songs that he dropped, are something different. So this is kind of unfortunate. But then new metal and rap rock, that didn't really die. I think people just switched up their style. That's the whole thing, is you think, oh, this release must have been, it must have been bad timing, trying to capitalize on a dying trend, but it was fine. It was just that people somehow were getting sick of it. I mean, obviously the music was still good, is what I'm saying. It's not like the song started sucking or anything like that. They didn't. So that is the half of Cocky that I prefer. And out of 14 songs, I did manage to like 8. But really, it even though it's a good album, it's not as good as Devil Without a Cause. Which, the thing about that, which is so strange, is because he sounds more refined on this record. That's the difference, is, it kind of felt like he was, shooting shots in the dark on Devil Without a Cause, but now that he knew that people liked what he was talking about, it's different, it's like, now that he knows that people like what he's talking about, it's easier to kind of let your character flesh out, and this is good. So songs like Forever and I'm a Dog, the title track, I'm Wrong But You Ain't Right, and Lay It On Me, these are all type records that are, they're good ideas. I mean, it really sounds like Kid Rock doesn't give a shit, and every day is a new, almost, festival for him, which I mean, even if he's only getting drunk or smoking cigarettes or just bringing some females over, I mean, the whole thing is it sounds fun. That's really the whole thing about it, is it sounds like a blast. But, so I'm going to score this album. I'm going to give it, because I liked 8 out of 14, I'm going to give this album a 7. I gave Devil Without a Cause pretty much a 9 or so, but I really would have preferred the songs on the radio to be more energetic, because it's misleading to have the best songs on the record, which I think most people, even though there's quite, this is a new audience of people that liked him for his country and ballad stuff, it's kind of split right down the middle, and that, that's the problem, is the other end of what he was doing didn't get the promotion it needed. So rock kind of got the short end of this, got the short straw, but country got the better offering. So here are the 8 songs: Forever, Cocky, I'm a Dog, I'm Wrong But You Ain't Right, Lay It On Me, Trucker Anthem, Baby Come Home, and You Never Met a Motherfucker Like Me. Now, Baby Come Home was the song I was on the fence about, but it is still, pretty good for rock music. So the social score, I'm going to give it a 5 or a 4.5 social, just because it was just riding on, for rock fans, this was riding on the laurels of the song Forever, which is really not enough. And the other 3 songs, if you like country and more slower type music, well, you'll be having a good time. So the future Kid Rock dropped an album in 2015. He'll probably be back at some point, but I don't know what he'll do. So, can this record be topped? Is yes, but I did like the atmosphere where Kid Rock was at. That's the whole problem, is coming off of an 11 times platinum release, and then seeing the moves that he was going to make. If it would have been an all rock based album, it probably would have been, this album was supposed to get a 10. In other words, there's just no way that the amount of success that he saw in 1999 and 2000 should not have been dedicated to the style that got him there, which is kind of the problem.